Twitch. And we're going to turn the volume off on the laptop so we don't hear the everything. And then, of course, we have to pull up ye old there.
Everything in.
Nah. Now what? So, let's pull up Twitch, YouTube comments. I should have done this ahead of time, but I didn't. Close, open, work. What's going on now? Channel. Let's go to my channel here. We're going live to here. This ain't Windows, but you know, we'll have the old comments pulled up and everything. So, just getting everything in line for the stream. Look at this. I actually made notes, so if y'all hear paper rustling in the background, y'all know what that is. There's that. There's the comments there. Let's go to that. Where's the chat room on Twitch? They ain't got none. What? Huh. All right. Let's go ahead and dive right on in. So, everyone, what's up? Welcome to the Fight Library. I'm your host, Blaine Henry, and today we are talking Submission Underground 20 and RIZIN 26. We are live on Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter. So if you hear me talking to someone and you don't see comments, you know where it's coming from. All right. So follow me on social media, whatever you're watching on. Follow and get at me on Twitter, Blaine Henry TFL. You can see it right there, I think. I post interviews, all that good stuff. Just follow me. Be nice, please. Please, please. Okay, so don't be afraid. Drop a comment at any time. And let's go ahead and dive on in. First things first. Izzy versus Jan Blachowicz was announced. That's a good fight. I don't look for it to be too much of a big deal for Izzy to get away with beating up on sorry old Jan Blachowicz. I'm kidding. Jan's a beast, and the power is definitely going to be an X factor there. Let's see. What did they just... Oh, yeah. You got Ryan Garcia and Luke Campbell coming up. Boxing match on the 2nd. Rene Alvarado, a guy I interviewed. You can go find him on the website, which is underneath my Twitter handle, as you can see. Yes, so they're on January 2nd. College wrestling comes back tomorrow. So my big question on the season, are the Hawkeyes going to remain dominant like they were last year, or will Penn State return to the same old dominance that they have become known for? Sumo returns on January 10th. I'm really excited about continuing my 2nd edition of the Power Rankings, which should be out after the entire Bash show. Note, you have Yokozuna, which is the top rank in Sumo. You have Hakuho and Kakeru. Both of those two guys are coming back, and they're coming off of an injury. So I want to see how they feel. I want to see how they look. Anyways, so let's go ahead and dive into these two cards. I didn't watch the whole thing on both of them, but I did watch a couple of the more notable fights. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and do it. Submission Underground 20, Jillian Roberson versus Pearl Gonzalez. It was a super fun match. Jillian won via rear naked choke, and she looked really good. We know Jillian's really good on the ground. Pearl Gonzalez is an Eddie Bravo product as well, so she's also really good grappling. Jillian managed to get to her back, which she did. I mean, that's her job. She's supposed to get to her back. She got in and sunk in the rear naked choke. So, good win for Jillian there. Her 2nd performance in Submission Underground, which is weird. It seems like she's been to Submission Underground more than just twice. It seems like she's been booked for a bunch of fights and couldn't come through for one reason or another. She always bleeds in her fights, too. She had blood on her nose coming out of this one, but shout out to Jillian Robertson for getting the dub. Richie Martinez ran through CB Dalloway, 55-second armbar. Honestly, it just shows that there's levels to this game, and while CB Dalloway is a great wrestler, it's nothing like Richie Martinez against him jiu-jitsu-wise. Satoshi Ishii, judo gold medalist versus the great Craig Jones. He's great, but let's be honest, we were in Craig Jones' world there, and I really do think that Craig Jones and he's one of the best jiu-jitsu players in the world, hands down. Like, there's no doubt about it. Deep rear naked choke is how he won, and Ishii, who lost to Fowler in his last submission underground, was quicker against Craig Jones. He lost to Craig Jones a lot faster is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, Craig Jones is got another win in submission underground. The guy thrives there. He's doing really good work there, and of course we're missing him against Mason Fowler, the 2 losses, but other than that, he's been perfect. Mason Fowler versus Ryan Bader. Fowler won that via armbar. Bader's a really good name for Mason Fowler, albeit he's not the most talented when it comes to jiu-jitsu compared to what he's done in the past, Vinny Magalhaes and Craig Jones. He's still a good win notoriety-wise. Bellator 2-weight champion, the UFC contender. He was never a champion. It wasn't even close in the UFC. So, he won the Grand Prix, and for Mason Fowler to beat him, that's going to get more eyes than Mason Fowler, which is good. So Bader managed to get on top of Fowler, which it really didn't matter. Mason Fowler was calm, cool, and collected, and he did a good job of not really freaking out at the bottom. And yeah, so great armbar. Bader had no chance. So question is, Mason Fowler, Craig Jones 3 in submission underground? I think that's going to happen. All right, so RIZIN 26. I've been doing this. I don't know what the... Yeah, there we go. I probably just put my hand in front of the camera like a dunce. Just wanted to make sure I can hear it, because the last time I did a live stream, we couldn't hear it. We didn't have volume. I didn't have the right microphone selected. Anyways, RIZIN 26 time. Ayaka Hamasaki versus Yamamoto. Hamasaki won via first round submission. Yeah, look, I'm looking at it now with the replay. God, I'm a dunce. Anyways, first round submission. Hamasaki did a really good job of sticking to the outside, not letting Yamamoto get in and get a grappling situation. So it was really good for her to stay on the outside, and that's what she did. She did a good job of staying away from Miyu, so she didn't get brought to the ground in her world. But didn't matter. Miyu managed to get a leg, and the fight went to the ground. Hamasaki had a great reversal. It was beautiful. And she still ended up in a bad spot. Still was in side control. But ultimately, she did get out. Not really out, but she was going for an armbar. She managed to throw up an armbar, and she didn't get her right leg over the chest of Yamamoto. So she found that her leg was in a perfect spot for a scissor choke, and that really worked. She got a scissor choke. I'm flipping over my notes. She gets the grip with her legs, and it's not a very common submission, and it's probably the submission of the year, even over the knee bar from Luana Carolina lost to Ariane Lipsky. Ariane Lipsky's knee bar of Carolina. So, yeah. Didn't get to watch Takanori Gomi versus Kyoji, but I did get to watch Mikuru Asakura versus Yamasu. First round TKO for Mikuru Asakura. He told me he wants to be more active. He felt like in his title fight he wasn't active, and that was something that he wanted to work on. And he came out and he was more active. He engaged early on, went to the body and the kick early, which, it would have been a paid off dividend if the fight went longer, and he would have had a bigger advantage there, but didn't have to. He still hasn't abandoned the counter striking, which is good. He's a counter striker. So I'm happy he got out there and he was more aggressive, though. Yamasu was forced to rely on explosive attacks that are low percentage, which, that's just going to wear your gas tank out and really just frustrate you, if we're being honest. Yamasu rushes in and he gets countered quite often in this fight as well. So, it is what it is. That's what happens when you fight somebody like Mikuru Asakura. So Mikuru uses his footwork really well. I should circle back and say that kind of makes it frustrating as well. So in the finished sequence, he comes over the top with a big, I think it was a left, and then a lightning fast high kick. And Yamasu's almost out. It's kind of like one of those things where he's finished and just a couple more shots and it was done, in fact. So yeah, great showing from Mikuru. He's on his way back up to the title. I like to see him fight for the title again against Saito, I think it was. I don't remember. Tenshin Nashukawa versus Kumendai, however you say his name. So Tenshin got the win via decision, and it was really a one-sided affair. A great sweep came from Tenshin early on. Too bad, though, it doesn't count in kickboxing. It just looks good. looks good on his part and to the judges. Kumendai is just too slow, and it's apparent from early on. He's 26, but in Muay Thai that's like 40 in wrestling and heavyweight boxing. He kept putting himself in bad spots, and every single time he did that, Tenshin Nashukawa would capitalize on it. I'm talking, he would pivot out, he would come with a hook, he would body kick, he would something, a knee, especially those knees, the left knee to the body. Oh, I'm going to talk about that in a second. He kept falling down, swinging wildly, Kumendai that is. Tenshin comes with a flying knee, and Kumendai catches it and slams Tenshin to the ground. And I wasn't watching the English broadcast, but it looked like he was slammed, or it looked like the referee warned him, I should say. And I thought that was pretty funny. It was just a one-sided fight. You could tell he was getting frustrated. Tenshin just read everything he got thrown at. Oh, that was thrown at him. He read it. He was just a hair fast. Not even a hair. He was a couple hairs faster, honestly. Tenshin strikes. He varies them to a masterful level. I'm talking, he didn't throw the same combination twice. It was incredible to watch. And I think a technical readout on Tenshin will be down the pipeline. I've got a couple of them I need to do. So, yeah. The knees I mentioned earlier were vicious. He kept coming in the clinch with a knee to the right side of body of Kumendai, and it really, really did the trick. It was just frustrating. It was painful, and you could tell it paid dividends later in the fight. And then, he calls out Takeru, which that's the fight that needs to happen. They're the two best kickboxers in the world. And, yeah, so just make it happen. He's Tenshin scheduled to fight in Deep in February, I believe. They just announced a Tokyo Dome fight in February as well, so should he get out unscathed, I don't know if the timeline adds up there or not, but we could see that fight, the super fight, probably the best kickboxing fight since Rico Verhoeven and Badr Hari. So let's have that. Let's have that for sure. Main event time. Kyoji Horaguchi versus Kai Sakura. Gooch wins by first round TKO. It was a fantastic performance from him. Early on, you could tell his game plan was to make Sakura second guess himself, and he did just that with the leg kicks. He starts working the leg early on, and they're thudding too. Just whap, whap, and they hurt. And he didn't throw them he didn't spam them per se, but he did enough to make Asakura second guess getting in, and that's how Asakura fights. He gets in and he hurts you. And he couldn't get in on Horaguchi. Gooch was light on his feet. He did a real good job getting the advantage on footwork, especially when they were orthodox southpaw. He would get his foot on the outside and grab an angle there, pivot out of the way of anything detrimental. He was really light on his feet. Asakura just couldn't get inside on Gooch. He was too mobile. Countering and pivoting away, I said, was a big part of how Horaguchi won this fight, and he gave no love to Asakura whatsoever. Didn't give him a chance to even do his thing. Leg kicks added up quick too. In the first round, we could tell he was limping on him and stuff, and you heard the Japanese crowd kind of like cheer when he was limping. It's like, ooh, they're pulling for Horaguchi here. It's kind of rough. Flying knee, Gooch comes over the top and throws him to the ground, and he's hurt as he hits him going down. It was a perfect performance from Kyoji Horaguchi. Anyways, guys, this has been really fun. I think I'm going to do more of these. I know I'm going to do more of these in the future here. And I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did enjoy doing it. So I'm going to go ahead and call it a day. I've got New Year's stuff to do. Y'all be careful this evening. And follow me on Twitter, Rockfin as well. You can check out my tactical guide to Amanda Nunes versus Chris Cyborg. It's up for premium users, and I have it on my Twitter for anybody who wants to check it out too. So, all right, guys.